Brood 10,000 by Teal Livingston. Good. Now bring the phone with you to the door, demanded Sam as he turned towards the ragtag group. Gideon, hands wrapped and bandaged as if in a burn unit, held out a large fire extinguisher. His mouth and nose were covered by a torn lavender bandana, his head topped by an old wool cap. Mildred and Jake flanked the old man's chair, both brandishing canvases as shields and wielding makeshift fly swatters, constructed from 2 broomsticks, old cardboard, and packing tape. Elizabeth's once beautiful raven hair, now mostly sheared from her bloody scalp, reminded Mr. Elliot of a stray dog with a bad case of mange. She stood, albeit shakily, behind her main squeeze, wearing heavy-duty safety goggles and a pair of taped-together painter's frocks. With both hands protected in gardening gloves, she firmly squeezed Gideon's wheelchair grips. "Millie!" he yelled into the receiver, wanting desperately to see the petite woman's frame again at the door. Abruptly, she and 3 other women, residents in their 70s, dressed in Lululemon pants with psychedelic purple tank tops, who'd all obviously missed their early morning yoga class, came to face Sam from the other side. Millie, an aged version of Shirley Temple, just as adorable and with as much spunk, stood sadly at the door. Helpless, she pressed her right palm to the glass and mouthed the words, "I'm sorry," as the tall and sturdy form of Mrs. Underwood suddenly appeared behind her with the cordless. "Mr. Elliot," she demanded in her unusually harsh Austrian accent, "do not under any circumstances come to this building. You're to stay put." Sam slammed the phone hard to the ground, watching the effects reverberate over to the woman's ear. Mrs. Underwood, hair pulled back so tightly into a bun that she always looked a bit surprised, yanked the phone away with a scowl. The assembled and ready group watched intensely as the most interesting man, fed up and furious, jumped into action. Donning a prop sombrero, an oversized pair of lipstick-red sunglasses, and holding a whip made from 2 mauve mohair throws tied together, while attendant Underwood scolded and paced in the dining room. Jake pried open the half-stuck door panel and shuffled backwards into place. The brood, from above, swarmed viciously into the room. Mr. Elliot flung himself to Elizabeth's side and helped her push Gideon forward, while the sitting man let loose both the fire extinguisher and a cackled war cry. "Move, move!" screamed Mabel as the murderous bugs piled upon her shield. Gideon fired off a second charge of white mist and yelled, "Push, push!" That sounded to Jake like, "Mush, mush!" The deafening noise from thousands of bugling bugs sounded out a death march upon the Spartan few. "We've got to let them in," pleaded Millie to Mrs. Underwood, who'd backed herself up against the door only after forcibly locking the deadbolt securely with a key, set upon a pink bracelet now dangling from her thick, freckled wrist. "Keep back, ladies! This is for your safety! And yours too, gentlemen," she said, addressing several new residents filtering into the room. "We're doing it!" yelled Gideon. "These sons of bitches won't take us down, I swear it!" Halfway across the deck, down the ramp and along the sidewalk, Jake looked back, while shaking what felt like a ton of cicadas from off of his shield, to find Elizabeth crumpled over in pain, while Swam was twirling and swirling away, the thousands of bugs flying everywhere and all at once. The front wheel of the chair Elizabeth pushed had jammed into an offset stone paver, quite literally stopping the sobbing woman in her tracks and sending the chair's rubberized grip directly into her abdomen. Rested upon one knee and cradled her belly. She half-heartedly flittered a hand at the storm of bugs, but with little success, deciding right then and there that if she were to get through this little shop of horrors, she'd stop playing hard to get and confess her love to dear Gideon, who, although concerned they'd stopped, was deterred nonetheless and continued to blast monoammonium phosphate and ammonium sulfate in every direction, while Sam valiantly swatted hundreds of the stunned bugs to the ground. Mildred, ditching her own shield and grabbing up the swatter in a two-handed grip, proving quite effective, slashed a path forward to her downed comrade as Jake rushed over to help. "Keep 'em moving!" he yelled to Mildred, plying Elizabeth's free hand from the wheelchair grip and forcing the chair over the upturned paver. The de facto art instructor, with a wry smile, wasted little time. She took up the grips in both hands and pushed Gideon forward through a cloud of white as Jake crouched to meet Elizabeth's tearful gaze.